This is a cautionary tale in media. Let's explain.
Having the entire internet, half of the country hating you and calling you disgusting things, telling you to kill yourself, telling you that you're a horrible person, that you deserve to die, that's a really hard thing for a girl to go through.
She has gone through hell and back because of this rumor.
In February, an online rumor went viral, claiming an Ole Miss sorority sister slept with her boyfriend's father. Then, someone attached Cornette's name and photo to it.
Do you know why the rumor started?
No clue. No clue. I had zero knowledge of this.
This disgusting rumor was a top trending topic on Twitter?
Within 2.5 hours. Later that night, around 7 p.m., I was #1 trending in the United States. I felt so helpless.
Of course, who wouldn't? Now, she's considering taking legal action.
Dad had sex with son's girlfriend.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
And then it was made public.
Which is,
now that's the absolute worst case situation.
So where is Jackson Dart in all this?
Against Pat McAfee.
Tonight, Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy says he has a message for Ole Miss freshman Mary Kate Cornette.
If you could talk to Mary Kate tonight, what would you tell her?
I would apologize. I get why the family's pissed.
And Barstool chief Dave Portnoy, who initially denied his company's involvement, but later told NBC he wanted to throw up when he had discovered they were connected. More in a moment.
All right, I got to make an apology video here. I want to extend my deepest and most sincere apologies. I'm genuinely sorry to Mary Kate Cornette, her boyfriend, her father, her parents, friends, family, anyone who was negatively affected by just a bonehead decision I made to make a really lame and really bad piece of content regarding some rumors that were being spread about her.
That's KFC Barstool, obviously an employee of the company, who took part along with Jack Mack, another employee who has a large following across social media, and a non-affiliated Barstool person, former NFL player Antonio Brown.
Cornette's phone number was also shared online. She was overwhelmed with harassing texts and voicemails.
I was having thousands of calls come through, thousands of texts coming through, calling me a whore, calling me a slut, telling me I deserve to die.
One Facebook user, who is said to be Mary Kate's father, posted more details on Facebook. We'll read part of it. By now, some of you know my daughter of a totally and categorically false, malicious, organized, and defamatory cyber attack. She has been publicly doxxed, and our family has been forced to take protective measures to ensure her safety. He also said they hired some top investigators in the country because they want to find the source of how this came about. From The Athletic, campus police told Cornette she was a target, and the harassment prompted her to move into emergency housing. She also cannot go on campus. She feels uncomfortable. So she has switched to online courses. The situation has affected her boyfriend, obviously, her family, obviously, and her friends. NBC News would report that someone swatted Cornette as well. Houston police showed up to her mother's house, guns drawn, in the early hours of February 27th. According to security camera footage and a police report reviewed by The Athletic, the homicide division would respond to that call.
I want these famous people to know that I was not famous before this. I'm not a public figure that you can go talk about on your show to get more views. I'm not. Sorry. Nobody knows who I am, or nobody did know who I was. But them pressing this and pushing it farther made my situation so much worse. Because the people who were talking about it are the people that I would want to take a picture with if I saw it in public. They're people that I watched. Pat McAfee, ESPN, that's on my living room TV every single night.
That's gotta hurt that he's talking a bit that way.
It does, because I used to look up to these people, and now these same people are making me feel worthless.
To understand McAfee's role in all of this, the transcription of what he said is daunting and honestly depressing. Here that is. At this exact moment, this is what is being reported by everybody on the internet. Great source. Dad had sex with son's girlfriend and then it was made public. That's the absolute worst case situation. We're just wondering, his dad, we're just trying to combine, evaluate, and then another host would bellow, Ole Miss dads are slinging meat right now. How great. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Lawsuits. And I'll tell you what, I'll never forget my first. And for that whole thing that's happening, I didn't want to add any more negativity as it was taking place like I did. We will try to figure that out and make some sort of silver lining in a very terrible situation.
After all this, McAfee would address it by saying, just like the current situation that is happening, where I have a lot of people saying that I should be sued, I want to say this. I never, ever want to be part of anything negative in anybody's life, ever. That is not what I want to do. My lawyers are Pittsburgh lawyers, and they're in here tonight. They have the same mindset as me, empathy, but understanding reality. Again, I find myself thinking, what if this was somebody else? What if this wasn't one of ESPN's highest paid employees? What if the shoe was on the other foot with, I'm not going to name names, someone who is not of the McAfee stature? They would be gone. It is so interesting how the game can be misconstrued because of the participating party and how much money they get paid. It really is. And this is hiccup after hiccup after hiccup after hiccup after hiccup. And ESPN just lets it happen. They didn't respond to requests for comment. The Athletic reported the rumor spread on Yik Yak, an anonymous message-based app popular amongst college students. It would then gain traction online, what a surprise, on Elon's Twitter, and that collided with the sports talk ecosystem. Jack Mack, that employee at Barstool, he has over 1 million followers on TikTok. He posted about it. And recently, only today, did he post a message of, hands up, my bad, please don't sue me. To this day, though, there are channels that still have this story up in a false manner. Why? I don't know. Difo has an audience of over 201,000 subs. The video is still live. ENG-TV covered it. He has over 44,000. A channel named Sadagascar has more than 160,000 subscribers. They have not removed the video titled The Worst Girlfriend Ever.
I don't think that these boys realize what they're doing to people. It's awful. It's awful. And having your life ruined by people who have no idea who you are is the worst feeling in the world. It makes you feel so alone.
Tabitha A. Davidson wrote of McAfee, no responsible adult, especially not one with an audience of millions, should be mining social media for salacious rumors to discuss non-public figures. Even non-journalists used to agree that some subjects were off limits, especially private citizens and children. Davidson also wrote in this piece that she used to work for ESPN, and there are many great journalists at ESPN, as we have discussed over and over. But this is the blurred line of where we are right now in media and how incredibly lost we are as an industry. And it's not on those who are accredited. It's on those where the point of entry is towards the basement, that they can say, they will say and do almost anything to gain traction instead of trying to find the facts. Pat McAfee saw this story, or one of his producers, or someone on the Pat McAfee show who told him about it, saw this story trending on Twitter. I have tried to find the origin. I can't. But he doesn't see that he should be responsible. And with great power comes great responsibility, right? He is one of the almightiest figures in this space. But he wants to dance around the integrity of what this industry also mandates. Do I think he's going to get sued? No, I think Cornette's lawyers and his lawyers are going to find a happy medium. I think Cornette's lawyers and Barstool's lawyers are going to find a happy medium, which almost feels like a dumb saying. I'm just using it to say they'll negotiate and find whatever they deem fit. I don't believe that this will go to a jury trial or whatever. I think it's just going to be a payout. But the damage is done. And it's because there are so many people within this industry who don't really care to just take a second. And I go back, because Barstool is who Barstool is. We all know their track record at this point. KFC Barstool said Colin Kaepernick looked like a terrorist. Dave Portnoy was also in on that conversation. I'm sorry, Portnoy called him a terrorist, and KFC said he's not really black. Portnoy has also used the N-word multiple times in some of his Barstool press briefings. But with McAfee, you felt like, okay, he's there for entertainment, but this was just an own goal. And what ESPN does, I'm going to make this very clear. They're going to do nothing. They're going to do nothing. Because Jimmy Pitaro, the president of ESPN, courted Pat McAfee because he knows at this point ESPN is hemorrhaging subscribers and they are trying to just float in the ocean at this juncture. So he courted McAfee. He brought him in. Have they increased their viewership? Yeah, no question about it. But where is their line is my question. Because at this point, it just doesn't exist. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.